Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl JB, or yes, your girl is back with a brand new video. I know y'all probably missed me. Y'all probably been like, where have you been? Yes, I always do these little hiatus on my channel, but I'm gonna stop doing that for y'all and give y'all more content because y'all probably just like, girl, why you keep doing these hiatuses? Like, give us more. Like, yes, and I just recently dropped a mini documentary of women empowerment, self-love, self-guidance, so please check that out if you can. But today's video I had to show my face and we're about to do a story time. I have not done a story time in such a minute and I really wanted to do the story time because every time I think about this story it's just like a WTF moment. Like, when you have those WTF moments, you have to stop and think like, what? Like, why would I do some dumb shit like that? Why would I do something so stupid? Like, and every time I think about this story, I just be like, oh my god. And it's actually quite funny because me and my husband, we make jokes about this story. Till this day, we do. So this story time is the time that I almost burnt my mom's house. Yes, you heard it here first. Without further ado, pop that popcorn, get them drinks ready, and let's get right into this story time, this juicy story time for you guys. Cause y'all probably gonna shake your heads at me. Y'all probably gonna be like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Like, rate in my comments, okay? Cause I already know y'all gonna be like, WTF. So this happened, I forgot what day this actually happened, but I know it was on a weekday if I'm not mistaken. But this right here, all right, so at the time I used to smoke weed, definitely weed, not no fucking cigarettes or anything like that. I used to love it, smoke it heavily, all that. So my husband, he used to be the one that rolls up because I don't know how to roll up. Coming from a person that used to smoke, I cannot roll up for nothing, okay? I cannot roll up at all and it's just so hard. I tried multiple times and I always failed. So he would be the one that would roll up the weed, crush it up, yada yada yada, you know, the good stuff, put the fondue in it or the grabber, you know. So he did that, right? So I was playing with my son at the time. His name is Jaden. Shout out to Jaden, cause I love him. I was playing with him and you know, he goes first to smoke first and then he always saved me like a half blunt in, you know, the middle or whatever. So I was like, all right, you can go ahead, go smoke first, da da da, do what you do, feel me, and I'll, you know, come in afterwards. So that's what he did. He smoked first, he went first, you know. Then he came out the bathroom, he was like, you know, the half a blunt is in there. So I was like, all right, cool. I went in the bathroom, right? So the way my room is set up, I have my own bathroom inside my room. So the way, you know, it's in and out, you know, type shit. And on top of that, I didn't want my mom and my dad to know that I used to smoke. I don't know if they did know, I don't know if they didn't, but I didn't want my mom and my dad to know that I used to smoke. So I used to always hide it. Like, I would have to sneak in the bathroom, smoke, light incense, like the spray the spray. I said like the spray. You hear me? Spray the spray. I used to always do that. So when I went in the bathroom to go smoke, I didn't take the ashtray with me because usually when I go smoke and I dump the ashes, I have the water running. I just, you know, dump them in down the sink or whatever. So I didn't really need no ashtray. I was like, fuck that ashtray because I usually dump it down the sink. I don't care about the ashtray. So I never really used an ashtray at all. So literally, when I used to smoke in the bathroom, I never used the ashtray. So I didn't need no ashtray at all. So yes, I went in the bathroom, I was smoking, you know, whatever, high as hell, high as a kite. Okay, I was fucking done, smacked, all that, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, as I finished the blunt, I put the ashes inside the garbage can. Now, key points, because I'm gonna mention this again in the story, I did not know my garbage can was white and it was small, but not that small, but it was small. and it looked clear as hell. Like, I'm so serious, it did look clear to me. I don't know, maybe because I was high as the kite, but it definitely looked clear to me. So I was just like, all right, you know, I done my ashes in there, da da da. Walking out the bathroom, sat on my bed, watched a video on my phone. My husband, he was playing a game, and my son was watching him play the game or whatever, and he was playing with his toys. Cool. Everything was peach and dandy. We was both high as hell in this room, sitting here looking at each other like, bitch, we smacked, okay? So a few minutes rolled by, and there was this smell that just was coming from, I don't know where the fuck that smell, excuse my language, I'm trying not to curse, but I don't know where that smell came from, but it was just like this weird smell, and I was like, what is that horrid smell? So me and my husband, we was like sniffing around, sniffing all through the room, trying to see if it was coming from outside. We tried to see if it was coming from the AC. You know, we was just sniffing all over, right? So when we got towards my bathroom way and my, you know how when you walk in and out the room, the doorway, that's when it started to hit me even more, because I was just like, oh my god, like I was covering my nose. I was like, strong, that shit was strong, like strong as the H word. So we walked towards the bathroom more because we was just like, all right, it's not coming from the front of the entrance of the door, it's not coming from out there, like the living room stuff. So it had to be the bathroom. So we walked towards the bathroom. My husband looked at me, I looked at my husband, I said, oh my god, I know that nothing is in there on fire. I hope not. I was just like, oh my god, I hope nothing was on fire. So he opened the bathroom door, and I'm mad that I did not record this, and I could not record his reaction and my reaction. I'm super tight that I did not record this, but I have a good graphic memory. It was smoke literally everywhere. I mean, smoke galore. It was smoke so high, like the ceilings was turning black. Like, that's how smoky the bathroom was. So my husband, he was just like, I forgot what he said, but he was just like, what the hell did you do? Like, he gave me that what the fuck did you do face, literally. And then he I think he asked me, he was like, did you know it was papers in there? I was like, no, I did not know it was papers in there. I just clipped the ashes. Then, you know, the ashes went out, the fire went out. Like, I didn't know it was gonna catch on fire. I didn't know the garbage can was gonna catch on fire. So he literally grabbed the garbage can, he rushed out the room, literally put some water in it so the fire can go down, and then he threw it down the chute, literally. And we had to turn on my AC, we had to light mad incense, and I think I had a candle in my room that I had to lit as well. So it was just like, oh my god, like it was so bad. I had to fucking I grabbed my son, and me and him, we literally ran out the room, cause that shit it smelled like literally burnt newspapers, but it wasn't newspapers in the garbage can, but it literally smelled like burnt newspapers. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, why would I do some dumb shit like that? And I didn't even know it was fucking shit in the garbage can. Like, I was just I probably was just smack as hell. Like, I was high as hell. That's probably why I didn't really notice, because I know that the fire went out. I was like, ashes went out, everything went out, da da da. It was just so crazy, because I'm just like, yo, like, why would I do some dumb shit like that? Like, that was definitely a WTF moment, because that shit was crazy. And on top of that, literally on top of that, my mom's fire alarms, none of them went off. Mind you, it's a big ass fire in the garbage can in the bathroom, literally, and it was going towards the afternoon, and none of my mom's fire alarms went off. Nobody came out their rooms, nobody woke up, none of that. I'm like, how y'all don't smell that? Like, you can literally smell it once you come out the room. Once you come out of my room, you can so smell it through the living room. I was just like, how nobody smelled that? Nobody got up, nobody was worried, because the fire alarms didn't go off. Now, if the fire alarms did go off, then probably they would have woke up and then they would have known, because they probably would have thought somebody was cooking and nobody's in the kitchen, and then they would have came back in and saw the fire. If that would happen, but it didn't, because nobody woke up, like I said, and the fire alarms did not go off. So like we literally got dressed and we was just like, fuck it, we gonna take our son to the park, because I wanted to get them out the house. That shit was hectic, that shit was crazy, and I was just like, nah. When we all got dressed and stuff, we went outside. You can actually smell it literally coming from outside, because my mind you, you had to keep the windows open and the AC on, and I don't live that high. I live on the 3rd floor, so you can actually smell it. And I was like, oh my god, that shit smell like I said, burnt newspapers, literally, because that shit was strong in it. Motherfucker, I was like, I'm surprised nobody called the fucking fire department or something. I'm surprised the next door neighbors didn't call the fire department. I'm surprised the people across the street that was just walking did not call the fire department. I'm surprised they even showed at all. Like, I'm so surprised. And that right there concludes this story. Right there was my WTF moment, and oh my god, me and my husband, we talk about that shit so many times, and I try to pretend like I don't know what he talk about. Like, I don't know what you talk about. I didn't burn down nothing. Meanwhile, I actually almost did burn down my mom's house, because if it wasn't for my husband, you know, and stuff, literally, and we was actually going to take a nap before we even took my son to the park. So if it wasn't for my husband, literally my mom's house would have been on fire, because of the dumb shit that I did, and I didn't even realize that I did it. My mom's house would have been on fire. Yep. Dumb shit. That's what you do when you do dumb shit. And the only thing I would change about that story, like that memory, is next time, bring an ashtray. Okay, and think before you do something. That's the only thing I would honestly say to myself about that, because that right there was crazy. Okay, and I never ever, like, I don't smoke anymore. Like, I don't smoke weed anymore. But if I was to do it again, bring an ashtray, like I said, and don't do those shit. Period. Plain and simple. But that was just story time. I had to share this story time with you guys, because that was literally, I'm gonna keep saying this word, my WTF moment, and I got so many WTF moments to share with you guys. So I'm definitely gonna keep this story time segment going, because I have so many stories to tell you guys. I would write it down in a book, because you know I love writing and I love to do, you know, that type of stuff. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just share it to you on camera and stuff. So yes, let's close the chapter on this today's story time. Yes, I love you guys. See you guys in the next video real soon. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I will see ya in another video real soon. That's my shadow in the background. It's saying bye bye. Deuces.